hello, and welcome to another episode of XenoChat. I'm one of the hosts, Tyler, along with my co-host, Justin.
Hey, everyone.
Today we have several guests with us. First up, we have B.
Hello.
And Mary.
Hello.
Robin.
Hey.
And Jessi.
Hello.
All right. So today's episode is going to be about everyone's favorite protagonist. Well, not everyone's, but we love him. His name is Rex from Xenoblade 2.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but before we get into Rex, B, since this is your official first main episode, would you like to go into your Xeno backstory?
Sure, but it is rather short.
Oh, that's fine.
I jumped in during Blade when it went to the Wii. Now, I didn't actually play it then because, air quotes, it would be too hard for a female, is what I was told.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I was told it's a JRPG, accurate,
Uh-huh.
but it would be too hard for me to play, which is not accurate.
What
Okay,
neckbeard
this is
said that
dumb.
to you?
Oh,
Nope, no,
from
that's-
a certain
Who do I need to punch?
game store that I am not disclosing, a certain manager at said game store that looked at me like I had 3 heads when I was looking for a new game to play.
Oh my
Nope,
God.
that fucking tracks. Has any girl ever played Xenoblade? Name even one. You can't.
Guess not. No.
Yep.
So, yep.
Name a woman.
But I
Can you even
did
name
not.
one single woman?
That's great. No, I did not. Well, that time I did take their advice, so I watched it play. But when it came out, Blade Chronicles X for the Wii U, I hopped on that bandwagon and never left. So I am a fan. I think I said in a previous podcast, I love Chronicles 2 so much I had to buy another Switch.
Yeah, can you go over that one again? Just for those people who somehow decided to not listen to that gem?
Okay, so I went through my playthrough of Chronicles 2 on my main Switch so much, and I went through the DLC, loved it so much that I wanted to play again without nuking the data because I did not want to lose all the core crystals that I had. So the logical solution was to, hey, let's purchase another Switch so I can play it again.
Sounds legit to me.
Yeah, it's not like you could have made another profile or anything.
Yes, and now because of the release of Pokemon, that there is a new Switch out, and I kind of like the design of that. I am highly considering buying a third Switch so I could play the game. I have a problem, don't I?
Can I have one of those Switches?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because, I think my roommate would appreciate that.
So that is my short story of Blade. I am playing Chronicles 1. I'm currently, spoiler alert, in the Mechanis, and I enjoy the game so much that I try to do every single side quest, side story, some everything, just so I can get the full experience of the game. So that is my Xeno story.
Nice.
The end.
Nice.
Good.
The things we do for Xeno.
Yes.
The number of Switches we buy for Xeno.
Maybe 3 to be continued.
I mean, to be fair, we all tend to just buy the new Nintendo console as soon as we see that, oh, Xeno's coming, but Xeno or Zelda or whatever other franchise we love. But
Pokemon.
for me, Xeno is like, oh, Xeno is coming to that console. Okay, I'm buying the console.
Mhm.
Yep, and that's why I have a Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Well, that's
Same.
The Xenoblade Cross machine.
Yep. Yeah, it's literally just that now. Like, all of the other games got ported.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
like
when-
that, and then the virtual console.
So I'd love to jump on the other
Wii U is.
Xenos, everything else, at some point.
Yeah.
We support
So, I
Mhm.
just finished Xenoblade 2 myself, and is it true that if you do a New Game Plus, you lose all your core crystals?
No, if you do New Game Plus, it saves what you already have. like what you've
Gotcha.
already unlocked. I think it even keeps your inventory, but I'm not 100%
You
sure on
could
that.
have
But
saved me $250 for that information.
um,
I mean, if you wanted like
Well,
a clean new playthrough, then yeah, New Game Plus does carry stuff over, but yeah.
but it also
Yeah.
carries over your levels. But then you can just go to an inn and de-level yourself. So there's
Mm-hmm.
Which is like one of the
So-
most interesting features
I
in that
love
game.
that. I love that
Yeah.
feature
yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
because you can
And
like.
then, if the enemies are too strong, you can just go to the inn.
That's not how that sentence is pronounced.
Yeah, don't worry, Anthony's not here for that one. So.
I can't do the Kotaku voice.
Enemies too strong. Please switch to casual mode because you're a little baby.
Thank you.
That was way too good. Well, I mean, speaking of Xenoblade 2, shall we talk about the game's protagonist?
Yes. I mean, this is the main
That is what
topic.
we are here for. Yeah.
Yes.
Good
Just
boy.
checking.
Yeah,
just
we're going to
checking.
talk about Shulk, right?
I mean,
I'm
he is
like,
an
talking
I
about
haven't
our
beat the
favorite
game yet. I haven't
protagonist.
beat it yet.
Hey, we
It's
can't
a-
talk about Shulk. Let's talk about Rex instead.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
So,
Rex.
yeah. Let's get into
yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah, he is the protagonist. He is a good boy, as we say. He is a salvager. So in the world of Alrest, he kind of dives beneath the clouds to just salvage some junk. And
Yeah, it's like a sea of clouds with water, and he goes in and grabs the
Mhm.
treasures.
Yep, and he's doing this to like send some money to his dear old Connie, which is a woman who raised him, and
It's Aunt
the other
Connie.
Aunt Connie, and all the other kids that she raises. It's pretty wholesome. He's a very wholesome character overall.
Yes.
Very
But
warm and feeling.
Tyler, the internet told me that Rex is just a generic shonen loser.
Well, what are you doing on the internet? You're clearly too young.
Why did the internet decide we hate shonen good boys? It works for a reason.
Yeah. Screw the internet, man. Screw it.
But yes,
Okay.
he's very much a shonen protagonist, but like I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
It is not a bad thing.
It is not.
It's so funny how much I've seen people bash Rex for the dumbest things. They're like, oh, he's too immature. Oh my god, he's too optimistic. Oh my god, he's too positive. Yeah, because he's like a kid.
Yes, but
He
yeah,
is
At the
literally
same
15.
time-
He's literally a minor.
yes.
at the same time, the thing is, even though like he is like a shonen protagonist, at the same time, like a lot of shonen protagonists don't tend to be nearly as positive as him. And I think it's refreshing whenever you see an actual protag that's this positive and this supporting of like people around him
Yeah, he
in such a
respects-
manner. Yeah.
He respects everybody, and
Exactly.
that's like a genuine good quality.
Mhm.
Like Rex is very refreshing.
He is.
Like
He
more
is
than
a-
people give credit for.
Yeah, it's in a world where a lot of protagonists are like, I'm so gritty and I hate everything and I hate dogs and I
Or,
hate cats.
I'm so edgy.
Exactly. It's kind of nice to go back to basics, and it's like, here, it's Shulk. Not Shulk. It's Rex. He loves you. It's Shulk. He's sad. But here's Rex. He loves you.
Yes.
Also,
Can
like,
that be the thumbnail for this episode?
What?
It's
It's
just-
not Shulk.
No, it's a picture of Rex that says, "Here's Rex. He loves you."
Yes. He loves
See,
you
that could be a T-shirt
and all
right
of
there. There
you
you go.
guys.
He loves you and all you guys.
He loves you and all you guys.
You need
But
that
also
on a
the whole,
greeting
like,
card.
power of friendship thing works for a reason, because I think, friendship is actually important, and
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
young people playing this can get an important lesson about, found
Mhm.
family from his story in that
Mhm.
way.
Somebody
had-
gets it.
He really had no family, really. and then he met all these interesting people and built up his family into a big, colossal, functioning family.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
almost as if you guys played the game.
That's weird. I don't think I played this game. Don't check my Switch history.
Yeah, we totally didn't play for like almost, for some, almost 300 hours. For some others, even more because they did more playthrough than just one.
Or played it twice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to do math to figure out how many times you played because you have to check both Switches.
That's true. Math is hard.
I have to do addition. Fuck that.
I did 76 hours, but that's because I was rushing to get to this podcast.
Aw.
And you need to go back and play more.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
There's
Yeah.
a lot more you can do.
A lot more.
Let me tell you.
All the blades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back to Rex. One of Rex's, I guess, quirks is that he follows a salvager's code, right? And it's kind of like a set of morals that he always follows and tries to uphold throughout the entire game, and he often recites some of them.
Yeah, and
And-
it's like kind of a little dorky thing he does.
Yeah. It's adorable. It's really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit of was it? Yeah. I think it was Vice from Skies of Arcadia that also had a sort of code like this that he was reciting. It's like the same kind of thing. And the funny part is that they're very similar protagonists. Even Vice is super like
Yes,
positive. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I was going to say that is Vice is a very good character to compare Rex to.
Yeah.
Because at various points in Skies of Arcadia, Vice will say lines that are really, really, really motivating. and even that game in general, it seems to have a big theme on just being able to overcome hardships.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was it? There was this one line that Vice had that I always really liked, where it was like, I think it's something along the lines of, "Impossible is just a word people use to say to make themselves feel better when they've given up," or something like that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, Vice is a good character. But we'll save that for the Skies of Arcadia podcast. That's never happening.
Oh,
Retrograde Amnesia. There you go. There's your next game.
Oh man.
I wish
But,
I could vote for them to cover that because that game is so good.
But I'm looking at the doc, and it looks like a couple of us have some favorite codes from the Salvager's code.
Yeah, I have one. I
Yes,
like
you
the fourth one, which was open a chest. It might turn out great. Until then, it's just a crate. It's like those stupid gotcha games. Like I play
Yes.
Fire Emblem Heroes. It's like, all right, I got the orbs. I'm going to get something great. And it's a 3-star hero and it's crap.
Yeah.
Metaphor for the whole game.
Yes. Is it a rare blade? Oh, no, it's not.
what is inside box? Sweets or treats or socks?
There we go.
If that was one, I think Jessi had one as well.
Jessi
Yeah.
seems to have two.
Ooh.
Yes, I do. So, the scene where he brought up swim like a fish and drink like one too was hilarious because he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go beat up Malos and then I'm gonna take him out for a drink." And then he's like, "Wait, I'm too young to drink."
That is a really
yeah,
good one.
Yeah,
That
that's
was good.
Laughed so hard at that.
That is a really good one.
But then also, I just gotta give a shout out to "Make a Girl Cry, That's Not Gonna Fly. Make a Girl Smile, You Passed the Trial." And I was like, oh, that's so cute when he
I
said
actually
that.
really like that one.
I like
too.
how awkward that last line is. It's like, shit, we need a rhyme.
This what makes them like charming though, because like there's such like ridiculous rhymes, and the fact that he says them with a straight face, it's just like, you know what, I gotta give it to you.
He doesn't
Like,
know any better.
I half wonder if he just makes them up as he's going along.
I just feel like if he did that, the numbers would be a little more stupid. I think these are actually like things that people say. Like maybe he numbered them, but
Yeah, let's see. I found a picture on Reddit that has the Salvager's code, and looks like there's 7 of them on this picture.
Okay.
Swim like a fish, drink like one too. Always help others that help you. Make a girl cry, that's not gonna fly. Make a girl smile, you pass a trial. open a chest, it'll turn out great. We said that one. I can't read number 5. Always be, and then it looks like it's ripped. And this one, first have to punch
It
out,
gets
then drink to
cut.
forget. Yeah,
One of them gets cut off because Mithra doesn't care.
Yeah, I think that's number 5.
Mithra never cares.
And then the last one is never leave a debt unpaid.
Yeah, that's something that indeed don't leave it unpaid. It's bad.
Heard that, Azurda?
Yep.
Then there are just a lot of jokes about, like, what are some salvagers codes, and people making up done ones, so stop that. You're ruining my search.
Make sure you put your helmet on.
Yes.
Yes,
That's probably not quite in the code, but it should be.
Hey,
Yeah,
I made
it
it rhyme.
should be.
I made it rhyme. You might be gone. Put on your helmet. You might be gone.
It's also kind of
Oxygen's
interesting.
your best friend.
I find it really interesting that like salvagers in the world, they're not necessarily shown as being wealthy people, but meanwhile, that's like the best way to make money in that game.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
So...
you can make stupid money very quickly if you salvage, and you don't even have to go to like late game areas to salvage. The early areas will get you a lot of money.
Money
I
and
remember.
reputation.
I remember I was doing that a lot, both for money, but also because I was slightly addicted to the gacha and trying to get Cosmos desperately.
It sucked you in too, didn't it?
Yeah.
I did the same. Yeah, I went for core crystals. Like, and so.
And but I was sitting there, I was like, oh, cool, I'm getting so much money doing this, so I'm doing like, I'm doing like 2 things for the price of 1, so
And
it's
building
fine.
reputation, so that's 3 things for the price of 1.
True. And to be honest, I find it pretty fun still, even though if it's a big grind. I find it pretty fun to do. It's relaxing. It's fine. And then like I get core crystal. I get core crystal. I can try to open and like fill my gambling needs, I guess.
I want to know what a load of guff is, because I got a lot of guff, whatever that is.
Clearly, it's garbage.
I thought it meant like loaded with enemies when he said that. Like, oh man, like this crab grabbed onto my treasure box.
I mean, I think it's just like, oh man, I got shit.
Yeah.
But do we want to talk about like our initial thoughts with Rex? Like when we first saw him?
Yeah.
Sure, we can go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I first saw Rex, I just thought, all right, he's fine. He's upbeat, cheerful. I wasn't crazy about his design at first, but it, like a lot of things in Xenoblade 2, it did grow on me, and I can definitely say that I do like it now. I thought the salvaging was kind of cool. That like, oh yeah, he's just diving into the sea and just coming up with random crap and then selling it.
I did like how his like design factored in his occupation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he has that he has his helmet attached to the back, and Gramps will hang out in his helmet. And
again, I like the idea that he's just like salvaging for parts. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Mega Man Legends. And if you're gonna remind me of Mega Man Legends, then I'm probably gonna like your game.
The one thing that drove me nuts, because as a salvager and going into the deep, I would have thought there'd be an oxygen tank or something. I don't recall seeing an oxygen.
Oh, he has one
anywhere. Yeah, he does.
He has like a little one. It's like on his lower back. It's horizontal.
Yeah, maybe that's why I missed it.
He puts it on Nia at some point, doesn't he? He puts it on Nia at some point.
Yeah, he gives Nia like a little mask.
Right.
Now, does the game ever really explain what swimming in the Cloud Sea is like? Because it sounded like there's kind of a process behind that.
I mean, they have some discussions where they like in Letheria, Nia says that she hates doing it because it feels weird. Rex says how all of the kids always like diving into the Cloud Sea is like a rite of passage sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it does seem like there's some technique, but general, it's expected that you can at least, doggy paddle through it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. But I do wonder though if like gravity wise or field wise, if it's like the same as like going to a noble sea, or if it's like a bit different of a field, because it is kind of a weird sea with some clouds covering it.
Mhm.
So
The
like,
implication is that it feels different than water, but they don't
mm,
really make it clear beyond like hinting that
yeah,
this isn't the same.
I want to jump in it. Like, I don't
I
know
want
about
to.
I don't know about you guys, but it's like that meme where people talk about eating Tide Pods. I saw the cloud scene. I was like, I want to jump in that right now.
I want to eat the cloud sea. Do
That
not
too,
eat the cloud sea.
Well, that would probably be bad, but it might be refreshing.
Well, it's just water, right?
No.
Is there
No.
Super
cotton
water?
candy?
It's super
got-
not water.
Just some foam on top.
No. Y'all gonna die. Also, stop eating Tide Pods.
Tide Pods are
that
going to be the next pouch item.
Wasn't that
No.
supposed
And
to
it's in
have,
the
like,
sweets category.
gross?
What do you think of Rex's voice? Or did everyone play it in English, or did some people play it in Japanese?
I
I-
was playing in Japanese here.
I played in English and I loved his voice. We were talking about first impressions like a minute ago, and
We still are.
mine was he's adorable, and also I love his voice. He is my son now.
I liked his voice too. I liked the accent, but in that whole game, I loved the accent, especially those Ardenian soldiers before they did that update and took away the.
Oh yeah,
But anyway,
The-
that's another story.
But
Don't
B
forget
and
me.
Jessi, the internet told me that Rex can't scream like Shulk did, and therefore his voice is horrible.
The internet needs to get away from my small Scottish son.
He's not Scottish though. He's British.
Okay,
He's
my
a ish.
small British son.
Yeah, I was looking up the voice actor, and he's from England. He was born in
Al
Great
Weaver.
Manchester.
To be honest, though, I like both voices, even though I played more in Japanese. Because the thing is, whenever I saw the cast in Japanese, I felt like, um, basically like there was so many voice actors I recognized that I was like, okay, no, I want to keep it in Japanese just because I recognize so many voices here. But I think the English cast is also very, very good. And as for like my first impression of Rex, I really really enjoyed him from the get go, because I do like characters that are positive and like, just in general, like very good characters with positive attitude and stuff. Like I really love these characters.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good one. The more I think about Rex, the more I end up liking him.
Also, as Tyler had said, his English voice actor was Al Weaver, and his Japanese voice actor is Hiro Shimono.
What else have they done? If anyone knows off the top of their head.
I did look up what Al Weaver had done, but I didn't see anything that I particularly recognized.
One thing I remember on top of my head for the Japanese one is oh god. I know he did a character in Attack on Titan, but I'm not sure who else. Like, it's been so long since I looked at the list.
So Rex's Japanese voice actor played Zenitsu in Demon Slayer.
I remember it might have been around the time that Xenoblade 2 came out that people were sharing this like commercial that Al Weaver was in. It was for like a dating website or something.
Huh.
And I was like, yeah, that's Rex. That's as far as my knowledge of Al Weaver's work.
Yeah, I didn't really recognize anything that he had been in. But, either way, I still think he did a great job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, overall I did like Rex's voice.
Oh, wait a sec. He also did in the more recent stuff. The same Japanese voice actor also did the Jiro in 13th Sentinel, which is a game we all love.
Oh, no way.
Well,
Nice.
strange. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the guy did the Japanese guy did a lot of fairly well known voices. Oh, and the one from Attack on Titan, I was trying to remember the name is Coney.
Oh.
It's like one of the early characters. I don't know how long he stays around though, because I haven't finished the series. But yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, as I guess I haven't really said my thoughts on Rex. Like at
go ahead.
first, I don't know. I'm gonna sound like the internet and say that, oh man, he's too good. He's too nice. I hate this, but he does have some missteps later, and I just felt like he was like almost too perfect. And I like some flaws to my protagonist, but he like sometimes his niceness does he cares a lot, and that sometimes gets in his way. And he did grow on me. So yeah, I do like Rex. It just took me a little bit. That's my thoughts.
That made me think of something, but we'll address it later when we talk about his relationships.
Okay.
So.
Very cool.
Well, I guess that kind of goes into like his kind of strengths and weaknesses, because he is a very optimistic person. So he sees the good in everyone, or potential good, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
It's one of those traits that definitely has its issues. Like, I mean, obviously seeing the good in people, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time that can lead to some problems, and we do see that a couple times in the game. It kind of does bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
he's a very trusting person.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He trusts far too much, and sometimes it just trusts the wrong guy, and you're getting burned.
He's also 15.
He is also 15, but
yeah,
like the opening thing where it's just like he's making like the first mission being like, "Hey, we're gonna," what was it, like 1 million money or some shit. The mission that Torna was sending him on.
Yeah.
Where it was like a ridiculously high payout, and like normally that would be responded with like, "Okay, that's too good. What the hell are you actually asking me to do here?"
Yeah, exactly.
And the other side of that is that, like, it's you're the player first mission, and you have no sense of what money is here, so it's like, oh, okay, sure, that's a money.
That is a money.
I need money for gear.
I need money so I can go buy cake. What the hell is gear? I want to go buy cake.
Cake and lemonade.
I need to buy cake and lemonade. But yeah, like, you haven't had any experience with the economy yet, so the amount of money you're just like, okay, sure, I don't see why not. Yeah, that's to pay me that, whatever.
Let's see. Did you have some thoughts on this, Jessi? Because you're
you color coded your notes, so we get to call you out.
Well,
yes,
I was also going to. I was also saying you're super fresh, but
this one, this section.
Yep.
Strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like the optimism is sort of a double-edged sword type thing for him, because yeah, he does. People obviously like see that he's a bit naive, that he wants to see the good in people and take advantage, and they try to take advantage of that. But like, also, kid goes through a lot, and he manages to remain positive through all of that. Like, just for example, when early on in the game when Vindham dies, that's probably the first really Vandham.
Vandham.
He's a good guy.
Good guy. And
I guess early when he dies.
Yes. Like
that sounds like we should spoiler alert.
I mean, it's gonna be spoilers. It's fine.
Sorry, Jessi.
Wait,
I
I had to finish this game to be on the episode. I assume the people who are watching the episode have at least gotten that far.
I'm not sure if I want to play this game. Tell me more about Rex. Oh my goodness, there are spoilers here?
No.
Spoilers?
It's fine. It'll be in the show notes. Go on, Jessi. Go on.
Yes,
Jessi.
no, we anticipate spoilers. Go ahead.
So, a lot of bad stuff happens to him, and he manages to just sort of remain positive through all of that, including some of the sort of mind-shattering stuff that happens at the end, which is incredible to me. And it's like a huge strength that sees him through all of that. The point of the game is that he couldn't have, been the driver of the Aegis and gotten to Elysium and done all those things unless he was the person who was determined to see through all that, and he was definitely that boy. And I think there are a lot of lessons we can take from that in times like these in the world that we are currently living.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very good point.
Yep. The world can use more folks like Rex.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
I know something that I remember noting in here was that I thought it was kind of funny how the game goes out of its way to show that Rex has a certain sense of justice, yet his justice idea stat is actually the lowest out of any of his other stats. Actually, that and bravery are tied. They're both at level 0 at the beginning of the game.
The irony.
Yeah.
Those are actually his best.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, he does care a lot about his friends' well-being. And then, it is very adorable that when he sends Blades out on market missions, he says not to forget to have fun.
Yes, that is actually one of my favorite lines of his. I just think that is just the sweetest thing.
That's so sweet.
It's so cool. Like that. I mean, that's what I love about these games. Just dumb throwaway lines like that can just mean so much.
To be honest, if I was under Rex, I feel it's so nice that he ends up with the mercenaries and stuff, because it's he's so sweet to everyone. He's even though he's young, he's the best type of leader you would want to have, because he's so supportive of everyone and so chill.
Yeah.
Everyone's treated as an equal.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's not too much fighting when he gets the position. Everyone's just all right, that's what Vanda wanted, so we liked him. We're gonna trust that you're doing a good job, and we'll help you out. No problem.
Yeah,
I think there's one mission where it's go hit this guy. He's calling you into question.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
And then you go hit him, and he goes, "Okay, I was wrong. I got
You're
hit."
the right guy. You're the right guy for the job.
Yep.
All right. So, do you want to start talking about Rex's relationship with other major characters in the game?
Sure.
I know we kind of touched on it a little bit already, but I know one of the first people we meet that's friendly with Rex is Gramps or Azurda.
Yep.
And it's weird how Azurda is both kind of a father figure for him and also Rex's house.
Yes.
He lives on Gramps' back.
Yeah, pretty
Gramps
much.
taught him how to fight, and I really want the visual of that, please.
Yeah.
It's probably, considering at the beginning he's just a giant titan thing, I feel it would be just yelling instructions in the distance while he does this stuff.
But he can't, if he's on his back, you look at your own back, and now imagine there's a little man there.
Yeah.
And now tell him how to fight.
So
It's probably
roll
him being
over.
"Girl, Rex, go attack the crab on my butt."
Rex, there's a crab on my ass.
Don't cook too close to my neck. You'll get hair burnt off.
Do you think that's why he keeps Rex around? To keep crabs off his back?
It's a symbiotic relationship, yeah.
Rex is just
his little parasite.
He's a back scratcher.
Like those birds that are on rhinos.
Exactly. I love you, little parasite son.
But then even when the tables are turned and then Azurta becomes this small little thing.
He rides in Rex's back.
Yeah.
This little hood thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Just hold on tight.
I love their battle banter.
It's great.
Yeah.
Mind you don't fall out, Gramps.
It's so clever.
But also, I really love how much like Azorda really cares for Rex, and just like every time Rex goes into something dangerous, he's like super worried because he knows that he's too good for his own good. But yeah,
And I'd also argue that Azurda's kind of showing Rex which way to go because, you know, Azurda is a Titan. He's had a lifetime with Adam. Like, he knows a little bit more about Mithra, Pyra, and can help form that relationship because he's been there, done that eons ago.
yeah.
Not eons, but yeah.
Well, long time ago.
Yes.
Many, many years ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. That's the start of the game.
So speaking of Pyra and Mithra, shall we start talking? Well, I don't know, that's a heavy topic, but his relationship with Pyra and Mithra, Rex's.
Well, they saved his life.
Mm-hmm.
Boy meets girl.
Boy meets girl.
Yes.
Boy loses girl.
Isn't that a name of one of the chapters?
Yes. And
Yes.
so boy met girl or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something
That's
like
the last
that.
chapter.
Yes.
Indeed. Boy loses girl is not the name of any of the chapters.
No.
But yeah,
Yes,
through the
Rex.
life saving, their link with the core crystal being on Rex as well, at least part of it. And
So
yeah,
he's-
they just have such a nice relationship in general. Although it's different depending on who is like coming up in this case of Pyra Mithra, because Pyra is more sweet and like she really tries to support Rex and everything, while Mithra is a bit more
Like,
tsundere.
F
She
you.
doesn't she doesn't want like it's not that she doesn't like him, it's just she doesn't want to show that like
She
doesn't
has a
show
crush.
But
Yeah,
HK Mithra ends up in Rex's bed in that one scene.
Right.
Therefore, Xenoblade 2 is
Okay,
literally
look,
a
I know I was
anime.
reading Kotaku articles about Xenoblade before this podcast, but if you don't stop that, I'm kicking you off your podcast.
let's throw Justin in Orny jail.
Can't, we're on Zencaster. We don't have a Zencaster horny jail.
Oh
Not yet.
But anyway, I like how their relationship kind of progresses because at first,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
like Rex kind of overuses their power, and there are times where Rex really needs to learn how to like cooperate and
Mhm.
work together with Pyra and Mithra. So I did like that aspect of their relationship.
I also think it's like kind of crazy that they straight up kill Rex like right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
That was
That was
I
a
was
little
pretty
unexpected.
I was pretty shocked too, especially like it's pretty brutal too. It's just like slowly you're stabbed from the back and you're dead.
Whoops.
Yep, and they're like, okay, is this gonna be the game? Am I dead now?
I'm a zombie.
That's why like I really hate when I see people like make fun of Rex and Pyra because of the touch my chest. Oh, what was it? Put your hand on my chest thing. And like, oh, he's like touching her boobs. Like, no, dude, like she's literally reviving him because he just fucking died.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, like there's obviously like a meta thing to be said there, where it's like that didn't have to be what the action was, but also that is where your heart is roughly, like in the actual Meat People universe.
Mhm.
So putting a core crystal where your actual human heart is kind of makes sense. So it's not like a huge reach.
Yeah.
It's not like Chi from Chobits sort of thing.
She wasn't just like,
Yeah.
grab my nip nops. We're going.
Yeah, like it's just as far as, you know, it's not that much of a stretch, so.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, I actually really liked Rex and Pyra's interactions, and even Rex and Mithra's interactions. I think they
Yeah.
are a really, really good pair, and especially later on, you really see how much Rex cares about them. Like even in the voice acting later on, like there's some really good delivery with some of those lines.
And
It's
I did enjoy like that growth that happened. I think that was one
Yeah.
of the aspects of the game that I enjoyed the most, was to watch that growth happen. It was so organic. It wasn't forced. It was, I can tolerate you. Okay, now we're good friends, and maybe
Yeah.
something a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can understand people reading a romantic relationship there. I just personally like to leave it at like a sort of sibling-esque or
yeah,
general. Two people, Rex is 15. At 15, you get a crush on everybody sometimes.
It's
Right,
just
right.
true.
Just like, hello, you were nice to me once. Can we be gore friends?
But I also feel like Rex wouldn't know what romance is. So, like, I can totally just kind of see Rex. I could totally understand if Rex would just see Pyra as just somebody he cares about.
Mhm.
And that's kind of where it ends.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I can see it ending there. I'm just saying that I could also read it in that, like, when you're 15 and girl nice to you.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
They kind of left that ending open-ended, so you
yes.
could make your own assumptions.
Mhm.
Either way, I cried. Okay, I cried.
That's
The bond
reasonable.
between like people and their blades seems to be a interesting bond that is somewhere between family, friend, and romance, and
Mhm.
like confidant, depending on like who is bonded to each other. But it's transcendent in a way that is hard to describe, and I think that's kind of where they fall under. Not exactly romance, but not exactly something else either.
Mhm.
And it's cool that
Wow.
we get to see so many different examples of driver blade relationships.
Mhm.
throughout the
Yeah.
game.
Mhm.
Hey, it's almost as if we recorded another episode
No,
about
we
that
didn't.
very topic.
Nope. Nope, we did not. We should really do that one day, though.
Please listen to
Maybe
that
one
episode.
day we'll record that episode. Too bad there isn't one.
Well, speaking of some other love, how about the relationship with Rex and Nia?
He loves her and all of you guys.
That was such a slam.
Oh man, that scene was great.
It
Top
was.
10
You can see
hardest
the exact
friend
frame
zonings
in which her
gaming.
heart breaks.
Yeah. I just remember being that scene and just thinking to myself, man, all the Nia fans are screaming right now.
Nia, I love you too. I love you and all you guys.
Mhm.
Poor Nya. He's too pure. He does not understand.
Yeah,
What's even funnier about it is that, like, I don't know if we've mentioned this. We probably mentioned it in a previous episode, but
Probably.
there's like a line, there's like a combat line where that kind of gets brought up, but like Nia brushes it aside like very quickly. I forgot what the exact line is, but I remember there was one where like I think Rex kind of like wanted to ask Nia about that, and Nia's just like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
Yep, I remember that.
yeah. I mean, Nia definitely had feelings for him, but Rex,
Mhm.
I think he definitely sees her like all of his other friends. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he quite understand this way. Like, he's way too pure and just pretty much it's like, oh, these are all my friends, and
Mhm.
like he doesn't really think that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
what's
someone
great-
tells him
Sorry, go ahead.
is if someone tells him I love you, he's just gonna be like, oh yeah, I love you too. But like for him, it's not gonna be like in the sense of I love you and I want to do a relationship. It's more gonna be like I love you as a friend too.
Love you too,
just-
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like, after he says that, like, Nia's disappointed for about half a second, and then she's like, no, that is kind of what I expected from you. I just needed
Pretty
to
much.
let you know, even though
Mhm.
I expected this to end right then and there.
Yeah.
All right. I
All
think
right.
that's about it with Nya, except like she's been very supportive toward him, and like she, like they have a pretty chill like friendship relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, the scene where she drops that she loves him really took me by surprise because I might very well be in the minority of this, and I know we've kind of discussed that it might be playing it in English versus Japanese, but there's prior to that their relationship came off as almost sibling like to me. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I liked how Nia was portrayed in the game and just like her general character development, and I kind of understand why Nia would have those feelings for Rex. Is like Rex treated her so freaking well, like compared to basically everybody
past, yeah.
else. Yeah,
yeah.
and he's always been there for her, and he's always encouraged Nia to be honest with
Mhm.
not just everybody else but herself. And
Yeah.
that's why, like, when that scene happened and she said that, I'm like, you know what, that's believable. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, because if we look into Nya's background, like she's been through so much shit
Mhm.
before, and so many relationships where, like she would be someone who would not necessarily trust easily, considering of all the experience she had, and like now she has someone this positive, like showing up in her life. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course, like she's gonna have a lot of affection and like pretty much like she's gonna want to stay with that person because that person is treating her so well.
Mhm. All right. So would we like to talk about Rex's relationship with Tora?
Okay.
Rex.
Yeah,
I
he's
love that
basically a big
nickname.
brother. He's basically a big brother, and yeah, it's true that he gets called he calls Rex Aniki in the Japanese version. It's kind of funny.
Which, for those not in the know, Aniki is Japanese for big brother, but it is also occasionally used in gangs as a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Rex is
Either
gay.
way, Tora respects Rex. Like he models his ambitions to be a driver with Poppy after Rex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he sees Rex as the ideal, or Rex and Pyra as like the ideal driver in Blades. It's pretty wholesome.
Yeah, he does. It does very feel like whenever Tora meets them, it does feel like he has a lot of admiration for them and stuff, and he's very intrigued and want to help them so much because they're cool. So yeah, like I do remember a bit of the early parts where he was like, he wanted to help you so much, like it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he touched a core crystal and his nose bled for how long? A long time?
A week or
A
something?
long
Something like
time.
that.
Oh, poor Tora.
Some crazy long time, but it was like other people have fucking died.
Pretty much.
Oh no, I thought of a terrible segue. Speaking of people who
Damn, bro.
Oh, no,
shit.
spoilers.
That was beautiful. I like that segue.
sorry.
Speaking of folks who died, here's random.
Died. Those are people who have died.
Oh, Rex and Vandam. So
Venom is pretty much a father figure that
Oh,
shows
yeah.
him how to not be nearly as like naive to say. Like he basically shows him a few tricks, but also shows him that, hey boy, you're a little too naive. Like anyone could like take advantage of that, and you should be more careful,
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially with the Aegis in your hand.
Yeah, he was basically a second father to Rex.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I really
And
wish we got like a prequel with Vandam.
Yeah.
Where he
And
plays a younger
even
Venom.
if like he did not meet him nearly for that long of a time, like he still entrusted his entire mercenary people to Rex because Rex is so pure.
Yeah, he
I find it really cool.
Yeah, and Vanden leaves a lasting impression on Rex and like the world itself. So it's
Even left a lasting impression on Rock, and that shouldn't have happened.
Technically, yeah. Shouldn't have happened.
That's true. Once a driver dies, a Blade is supposed to forget their past driver, but yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't remember him, but he does like go, well, clearly you're my new driver, and I sense that you're a good person, and you said that like I was, and like he figures out that he was passed on.
Yeah.
And just, does ask a few questions about like, what the hell was my past driver like? Because you seem to really like him.
Alright, should we move to the next one?
Alright.
Sure.
Let's talk about Morag.
So
See,
yes.
Jessi, did you have
Morag is
some
so cool.
thoughts
I
on Morag?
love her.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I just really enjoyed, as far as like Morag and Rex's dynamic, how like Morag is kind of like this gruff military commander, and being in her position, she's seen a lot of things and is kind of distrustful of people in the world in general. And I thought it was really sweet how Rex gives Morag a lot of hope, because he's like still a good person after all of that, and not after his own gain, and he still does see the good in others in the world, despite all that happens to them across their journey.
Yeah. One thing I also thought that was cool with Morag though is how like Morag was pretty much trying to test Rex at the beginning to try and like understand what his true motive was instead of like arresting him right away. And I think that was pretty cool. Like, and it's kind of what brought this sort of trust over time, because Morag really saw who he was really and what was his intention, and how he did not have any intention to use the Aegis for evil. So she ended up like supporting him in some quests, and then she continued following the gang. So yeah, I think it's really really cool how it all came to be.
It also speaks to how Rex is such a good guy. It was like Morag and Bridget fought them a few times, and it's like, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, you can join our party. That's cool.
Speaking of people who fought Rex, though.
Oh my god. If there was one character in that whole game I wanted to throw a shoe at, it was him.
Zeke.
Why though? He's so
He's a
funny.
good guy, yeah.
Like, he's annoying.
He's not. He's so funny.
He's such
He's
a
like-
funny guy.
He's like a JoJo character mixed up with like the Team Rocket
Yeah, he's
blasted
like-
off again.
Him and Pandora are basically Isaac and Miria from Baccano.
Yeah, they're just so goofy. They like every time they would come in, like I was just like, "Oh my god, they're here again! Everything's gonna get goofy."
Well, you were like,
It's
and I was like, oh my
hilarious.
god, they're here again.
Okay, so we're kicking B off the podcast. Got it.
Yeah.
No.
No Zeke
No,
slander in his house.
It's okay to
No,
have
we
your
want all
opinions.
views.
But yeah, I just think like he's pretty funny, and like I just love goofy characters in general. So yeah, and add to it that he had this. Oh, I'm doing all of the JoJo poses in existence while talking and doing my speech, and then like I'm being blasted off like the Team Rocket because I fail.
He even gets like added to the group like
Yeah.
he's a minor JoJo villain.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so hilarious. Like, I love it. Like, every time he would appear, I was like, oh, when are you gonna come to my party, huh? I want you at my party, you're so cool. And then eventually it happens, and I'm like, yay! But I think it's really funny how like the whole group were just like underestimating him because of how many times he just, super hardcore failed and like blasted off. But then the one time that they're there with Morag and all that stuff, and like he's just like, oh yeah, I was waiting for you to test you for real this time. And like Morag is just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna stay out of this one. And the others are like, okay, we're just gonna take you on. And then you just suddenly become serious and like, you just like, basically blast off their mind because he's actually so freaking strong, and they're like, what happened? you know but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And like right after that though, he gets very friendly toward the group and Rex pretty fast. And like, they just join the group after that, and they support them. And like we wrote in this text, he pretty much acts like the big brother who has more experience, but is a bit embarrassing because he's just a goofy character that makes himself in trouble every now and then because like he has bad luck with the environment, and yeah, stuff happens. But I love him. He's so extra and so funny. I love him.
Yeah, I think he's also a person who kind of is optimistic about the world, but he had a different start in exploring it.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of refreshing for him after seeing so many people, notably Amalthus, just kind of hating the world, to see, Rex being a ball of positivity who is just always happy and able to see the light side and willing to think that, like, hey, everyone can be a good person, you just have to give them the chance to.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's Amalthus who's like, everyone's actually a shit, it's just some people have avoided being in shit situations that prove that they're a shit. Speaking of little shits.
That's an excellent segue.
Trash Man.
I actually really wanted to talk about Malthus because this was the character I was like, oh, I'll get more into that once we do the comparison things. So Malthus, like, right up through the end of the game, like at every moment through that fight, Rex is totally willing that if at any moment Malthus said, okay, I'm done fighting, Rex would have been like, great, let's go get a beer. We're done here.
We're just friends.
Like, he absolutely felt that, like, Malthus could stop at any time, and he would have been, like, the leader of the Malthus Forgiveness Parade. He would have been right there going, Malthus did nothing wrong. Actually, probably a banner that says, Malthus did some things wrong, but being mad at him isn't going to fix anything.
Yeah.
And that does very much contrast with the fact that Malthus is basically a ball of nihilism and depression, and at that point was just like, nope, doesn't matter, everything you say I'm going to use to justify why I suck and should be killed.
Malthus represents edgy internet people, and Rex represents the people who should not be.
Yeah, but the main point... Sorry, no, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just joking. Continue.
Oh, okay. The main point I wanted to sort of make here is... B, close your ears. This is a Xenoblade spoiler.
Right, ears, wait. Okay,
actually, everyone who has not Xenobladed, stop listening to me. And I can type in the chat when you can listen to me again, if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay, do not listen to me. You're not listening to me? Excellent. Okay. So, remember in Blade when Shulk prevented Dunban from killing Mumkar?
Yeah.
And the number of internet people who were like, what the fuck, why would he do that? This is why I hate Shulk. Imagine if that was the whole game. That is why people don't like Rex.
Yeah.
You can listen again.
Awesome.
Welcome back.
I hope you weren't listening a second ago.
Except I was, and I already beat that part. So we're good.
Okay, well, some people maybe didn't, so I just wanted to be safe.
What?
I probably didn't.
Okay, good. Glad you weren't listening. So yes, that is my interpretation of Rex hate. And also, hey Malus, there you is. He's very much opposite of Rex. Rex being eternally optimistic, and Malus looking for every reason to hate himself in the world.
I also wanted to throw a shoe at him.
Yeah.
I can agree on that one.
Yeah, he did need a shoe throwing, but then he would just have used that to fuel, like, yes, that's right, hate me, throw shoes at me.
Yes, probably.
This is why I suck.
Yes.
And why I'm going to continue to destroy the world, because I suck. I can tell you threw a shoe at me.
Oh.
Speaking of throwing a shoe, the next person I initially wanted to throw a shoe at, but then I wanted to hold onto my shoe and give him a hug later on.
I still think you could have thrown a shoe at him.
Okay.
And that would be Jin.
Jin, yes. The
Not
one that
Uzi.
murders
Emo
Rex at the
boy.
beginning of the game. But, yeah, he does it with... he does it with his own reasons of, like, he didn't want him to be... I guess he didn't want him to be mixed into that mess, because he knew it would be, like, a mess. But then, like, Rex gets revived, which was not something he expected.
Well, I think Jin just didn't want to have that connection because he had that connection with Laura.
Yeah, exactly.
And he lost that connection when, she died. And he couldn't afford to make a connection with anyone again until later on.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, over time, Jin is he's pretty complex. Like, he has his own background with Laura where, like, he used to be super sweet, and then, like, stuff happened and Laura died, and, like, he pretty much, like, started kind of hating on the world too in a bit, and, like, he ended up following Malos, and, like, at first you think that he's, like, this bad guy and stuff, but then, like, as the story progresses, you have a couple moments where you get to know him, especially in the was it Morita that was the city?
Land of Moritha.
Yeah.
Land of Morita. Yeah. Especially in Morita, when you get stuck with him because you both fell down there, like,
and you're with nobody else.
Yeah, you're with nobody else but him and Mitra, I think, and, like, yeah, it's just like you get to know him so much more, and you get to see some other sides where, oh, this guy is not so bad in the end. He just went through a freaking lot, and, like, he's just done with everything. But aside from that, like, he's not necessarily a bad person. It's just that he's very extreme about his decisions because he's been through so much. But yeah. I think overall, though, they still, at the very end, they still get a fairly good relationship in terms of, like, I guess they kind of come to peace with each other, and I don't think Rex really holds it against him for the killing at the beginning.
I think that because of that relationship with Rex, like that last scene with Jin before he, like, goes away, like, kind of, dies in peace, like, he gave Jin that peace, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's actually, sorry, I have to collect my thoughts again. There's a scene in Xenosaga, and I apologize that I can't quite remember where it is, where Ziggy says, "Death is rest for the soul."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very much Jin's problem, that he has not been allowed to die, and that Laura's last words to him are basically, "You cannot die."
Because,
like, that's obviously not literally what she says. She says being forgotten is the worst thing that can happen to a person.
Yeah, and you wanted to carry your memory.
Exactly. At the end, when Jin tells Malos to go on ahead, like, Malos knows this is going to cause Jin to be unalive. And Malos gives him a hug and then leaves. Malos is the first person to give Jin permission to die.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's like, you've done enough. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like it clearly it pains him, but he's also like, I cannot keep like this is what has been hurting you. And also Jin regards Rex as like, maybe you can get through to Malos. He can't, but maybe.
Mhm.
Because Malos doesn't want to be gotten through, because it's not even like he denies anything Rex says, he's just able to twist it around to just be his own ideal again. Okay, we need to keep saying words so we can have another excellent segue.
Oh,
Speaking of ideal people to look up
Yes.
to,
Ideal mother figures, I guess.
Yes, speaking of characters that are in Xenoblade.
Corinne and the kids, yeah. Which we talked about a little bit earlier, but yeah, because Rex is an orphan, but he was raised by Corinne and her gaggle of orphan children, and his relationship, he's like so indebted to her and his family there. It's really wholesome how well he treats them and always thinks of them. Yeah,
He sends money to them. He helped build a school. Like it's all lovey dovey, all warm and fuzzies.
Yep.
And a lot of the kids look up to Rex.
Yeah.
Like he's their older brother.
and from like a meta standpoint, it's kind of fun when you're like in Letheria and shopping that you're like, yay, I'm helping my family.
And I'm gonna add a little side segue, but not too unrelated. But when he does remember kind of where his parents were buried, when he does that scene when he brings Pyra to introduce to his parents at their grave, like that was, it's like, oh, like he just values family and values like the friendship that's there, living or dead.
It was very touching that he was like, I have to make sure everybody, like Corinne and the kids and like my parents and their graves, get to meet Pyra because she is important to me, and I want everybody
meet her.
Meet her, and I thought that was really cute.
That was cute.
Speaking of kind of relatives, but not really.
At the same place and at a gravesite?
Yes. Adam,
I can't
really
wait till we do the next segue. That one's going to be good.
There's not much to say about Rex's relationship with Adam. It's just kind of worth mentioning because the game kind of implies that they're related when really they're not. Like, there's nothing that really suggests that they're the same other than, I guess, their eye color. And I think, like, a couple NPCs make a comment that, like, Rex kind of reminds them of Adam.
Yeah, it's, like, vague enough that you could kind of go either way on it.
Yeah, but I think, like, one of the things with the rumors was about, because, like, yes, they had the same eye color and stuff, but also, didn't Adam also, pretty much found the village of where Rex was raised, kind of?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah, so, like, it could make sense that maybe they would be a very far away relation to him, but, like, at the same time, like you guys say, like, there's absolutely no proof whatsoever other than he has the same positive attitude and the same eyes, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that there's that Adam's wife was pregnant, and maybe if she got a model, that would be interesting. Maybe she could have had spiky brown hair, and then we'd be like, oh, we get it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's like quite some time away. Like, it would not be a direct descendant, even so it might have been a further away descendant, because I can't remember how much years it was between 500. There you go. Like, it would be impossible for Rex to be the exact son of Adam, but it could be possible that through the generations he would be kind of a descendant. But again, there's no proof about it other than like him being similar in the way he acts and just the eyes and stuff. But aside from that, there's absolutely nothing really like the
There's
same.
no hard
Yeah,
evidence.
exactly.
If anything, I thought it was more implied to be like spiritual rather than physical.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
too. And also we do see I think whenever he goes to get his answer with the sword and all, like you do challenge I think the spirit of Adam, which
Mhm.
technically has the skin of Jin with a hood on, but yeah, we do go against that, and I think I think it's still pretty cool that they do that in terms of like, oh, Adam's trusting is testing you, but also entrusting the letting you find out the answer for yourself, kinda. But like, it's just a spirit, though. It's not like the true Adam. But I still think it was a cool thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of fights that Rex has, let's talk about his gameplay.
What a great
That
segue!
was awesome.
This is
Well
just
done.
segues the episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rex has some really fun gameplay mechanics.
He does.
Especially his anchor shot
Oh, I
to
love
cause
anchor shots
topple.
so much.
It's
Topple 'em.
It topples, it heals. It's great. So I also like that anchor shot is used a lot in cutscenes,
Mhm.
and he uses it in
Yeah.
some really creative ways, and that is just awesome to me.
That's always a nice touch when like the game character uses their thing in cutscenes.
Yeah.
I like
That's how
the-
you can get healing potions real easy.
Yeah,
I
anchor shot is
like
really
the
cool.
the double spinning edge, because when you got the Mithra, like I see on the notes here, I'm like, yeah, double spinning edge,
Yes.
edge, and again, and again, and
Double
again.
spinning edge is super busted with the right setup in Mithra, because I forget the name of her skills, but she has one skill where
It
if
refreshes.
you get 100% cooldown on a crit. And she also has another, and you can also set it up so that you heal every time you crit, and then you can get Mithra's critical hit rate up to like over 50%. So you can basically use double spinning edge and just keep smashing the button, and there's a pretty good chance that at least one of the hits will give you a crit, and you can just keep on doing it, and keep on healing as you're doing it too. The only big drawback to that is you will get a lot of aggro if you keep doing that.
Yeah.
I may or may not have learned that lesson a couple hundred times.
Mm-hmm. But it's
Like,
really, really
just,
good.
Just a couple hundred times.
Yes.
All right, so not many. Maybe you need to learn it again.
Maybe I need another Switch.
You might need another Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually he becomes also the master driver, and he can use all of the blades of your inventory, whether they're bond with him or not. So you have total freedom of who you want to use on him.
Which also means, like, it's, I guess in retrospect, there's not much of a point to pulling blades on him.
Yep, I stopped doing that once that
Yeah.
happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we're done with that then.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, like, Pyra and Mithra are just such a good blade for him in general that, like, you really don't need anybody else on Rex, at least. I actually pulled Cosmos on Rex, and I kind of didn't like that because it just wasn't practical to have Rex hoard both of the light blades. This is before the
Yep.
DLC came
I
out,
think-
too.
Yeah, I think I did that too, and then I immediately moved Cosmos over to Morag.
Yeah, you can transfer the right
Yeah.
with some limited items, but
Yeah, with the overdrives.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my advice to anybody playing this game, if you didn't care about spoilers and listen to this episode, try not to pull too much stuff on Rex, and fire and I would also say light are probably two elements that are kind of wasted on Rex, because Pyra and Mithra will cover both of those pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't get unlucky. Don't pull Cosmos on Rex if you can help it.
I did
Find
not
it funny
pull
that so many of us pulled Cosmos on Zeke.
Yeah, I pulled her on Zeke too, but I think it's because one thing I've read is that I think Cosmos is one of those blades that has a higher chance to come on a character that has higher justice, because it was
Yep.
something I
Yes.
looked
Mhm.
into because I was so desperate, you know. So
Yeah,
I was
he's-
always pulling with Zeke just because I was like, I have a higher chance because Zeke is the one that in my party that had the most justice.
I also
Yeah.
used a
And
lot of
like
justice boosters as well.
same,
Yep.
I was putting a bunch of blades on him that would like boost the justice up, and yeah,
I
I eventually
put,
got her.
I put 2
have
luck
not
things.
yet. I
You
think
have
that's
not gotten her?
no.
Oh,
I think that's the
no.
only blade between the two switches that I have yet to pull.
Yeah,
Did
she's
Dang.
you do
hard to
New Game
pull for.
Plus, or were you holding out for a third Switch before you did that?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
But
Re-
also, did you do the New Game Plus blades?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, all right. So we're both
Remember
missing
when the
just one.
game initially came out, and then you had the "I got Cosmos" posts on Reddit?
Nope, because I wasn't on Reddit.
Oh,
I was not either, but I do remember one thing though is I think it was the night right before the release. They posted like the official channel
Yeah.
posted about the Cosmos appearance, and I lost my shit. It was
yeah,
just
I
like,
remember
what?
that. I remember a lot of people were going crazy, and I remember even I was getting really excited. I was like, "Holy shit, Cole's is gonna be in this too!"
I was like almost crying of happiness. I was like, oh my god, Cosmos, you're still alive. You're here.
When I
But
first
yeah.
learned Cosmos was the game, I flipped my lid, and I flipped my lid even harder when I pulled her just like randomly.
Yeah, yeah. I think I saw your post on Twitter, but oh god.
Well, if you play New Game Plus, you can get Telos.
Ooh.
You can get
Actually,
her without New Game Plus.
get her without New Game Plus. It's
I
just
thought
I
she was
think
New Game Plus exclusive.
No, she's not.
no.
Oh, I thought she
You
was.
get her. I think you can get her only after a certain, like after a certain progress in the game. You can get her, but I don't remember the exact prerequisite. But like I do have her in my game, and I did not do a New Game Plus. So.
Same here.
Oh. Well, back to Rex. We kind of already
Ooh.
talked about salvaging, but gosh, that was such an easy way to make money and get core crystals.
Yes.
And it was just fun.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
it was a fun little mini game.
I remember
It
spending
was.
hours just in Moradane, just like farming the same spot over and over again. It
Yep.
was, and now I have
was-
like over 2 million gold, and I have nothing to buy with it.
I was
buy
farming
pouch
in
items.
Gormorty for a long time because I was farming even early on for money and stuff because I was poor, but also it was hoping to get Cosmos early, and like, oh god, it took so long. I eventually got her in that Gormorty area though. It's just like I grinded so long. But yeah, it's a really fun mini game. Like, I miss Xenoblade too, man. I would want to start another game, but I'm just like, my backlog of games is looking at me and judging me for even having such a thought. But yeah. Okay, this is mentioning the default set, but I think we kind of mentioned it briefly earlier. But yeah, there's bravery level 0, truth level 2, compassion level 1, justice level 0. That's his starting idea stats. But yeah.
Okay,
It is surprising his justice is level 0. I would have thought it would have
Yeah,
been higher.
really.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really odd, but
But he's very truthful. Very truthful.
yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's an honest boy.
Do we want to
Honest
talk
lad.
about Rex and other video game appearances?
Yeah, we can do that real quick. I mean, he hasn't been in too many other games, but
Mhm.
you can get his salvage gear in Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
also did not know that.
Yeah, it's through a side quest. I don't know
Mhm.
if it's just with the I don't know if it's just included with the Zelda pass, or if it was
No,
by
it was
default.
it
Like,
was through an update, I believe,
okay, okay.
because
Okay.
I got
Because
it.
I had the pass from day one, so that's why I'm like sometimes I don't remember what was part of the DLC and what was not.
Yeah, I'm with
Oh
you on that
yeah,
one. I
oh
haven't
yeah,
picked up that game in a while.
yeah. It was just part of an update because I don't have the pass, but it was a nice
Mm.
little quest because you basically get the outfit in different parts.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it was nice to get it all together.
That's really neat. I'm gonna have to try that again.
Yeah, Link can wear it, and I think like it boosts his swim speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's that. What else is in here? He shows up in Smash in the
Yeah.
background to cheer Pyra and Mithra on.
Yeah, he's like their cheerleader.
And I think that's really cool because, like, I think Pyra Mithra's taunt will change. Like, they'll react to him in different ways.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
also
thought
it's
that was
cool that
cool.
they added that because even in game, whenever like when the blade is about to do their own moves and like the driver passes the weapon, whenever he does that to Pyra Mitra, he's just like in the background cheering them on,
Yeah.
even in the main
Yeah.
game. So it makes so much
Yeah,
sense
it
that
makes a
they
lot
went
of
with that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of neat that they did that because Smash tends to favor the main playable characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when people were like guessing and trying to make predictions on what Xenoblade 2 character would go in, a lot of people were thinking, oh, it's got to be Rex. It probably wouldn't be Pyra and Mithra because, again, Smash tends to favor the main playable character, which is usually main
But
male character. But here, I kind of like how they put a bit of a spin on it. It's
at the
Pyra and
same time,
Mithra and have them in the background.
At the same time, they could also have gone another direction where, it would have been Rex, but with the blade next to him as well, and them switching back and forth. I could have seen them doing something like that too.
I thought they were gonna do something like that actually, but I'm just surprised that instead of picking main playable male character, they decided, you know what, we'll put them on the sideline and let Pyra and Mithra take center stage with
Yeah,
this. I thought
it's
that was a
really
really
cool.
good decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember that whole trailer they did for that, and I was like getting excited, being like,
Mhm.
"Wait, is this a continuation of Xenoblade 2?"
Yeah.
Because it almost felt like it the way they mounted the trailer together. But it was like, "Oh no!" Like it's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. I'm invited to Smash." Kind of thing. It was just so cute. Uh, that trailer was wholesome.
Yeah, that was a really, really cool trailer. The way they
Yeah.
did that cutscene was great because I thought it was DLC for Xenoblade 2. I was like, oh snap,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get some more story DLC.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. What else can we say about Rex and Smash? I know there's a Rex spirit, and you can evolve that spirit, and he'll turn into his master driver form.
And there's also a me outfit.
There is a
Isn't
me
it?
outfit for Rex, yes.
Yeah, true.
So if you really wanted to play as Rex, there you go.
Consolation prize.
All right.
Right.
So, is there anything else we want to talk about Rex? It looks like we got through a lot of our document.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
No, go on. I was just responding, to Justin.
Oh, gotcha. I probably should have said this earlier when we were in the characters, but I just wanted to shout out to there's a scene where I think it's when Pyra was kidnapped by Malos and Rex is very, I don't know, he's very down, and then Poppy just like cheers him up. So that
Yes.
scene with Poppy and just bringing Rex back was super good, even though their relationship wasn't kind of. I don't know what to say about their relationship beyond that scene, but it was just really, really good.
Yeah, it's
Wholesome.
just Tora tends to be a bit more on the front line as far as cutscene goes and Poppy. So
Mhm.
we don't see Poppy relationship with Rex evolve nearly as
Mhm.
much per se, but like you can tell Poppy really cares about Rex, and like seeing him down like this was just like it was too much. She had to do something, and like she was so adorable in that scene. I was like, oh
She really talked sense into him.
yeah.
I think as far as like Poppy goes, she cares a lot about Rex because she knows how much he means to Tora.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay. Any last final thoughts on Rex?
He's
Good
just
boy.
a good boy.
Yeah, he's
and
just, you know, warm.
he's precious and he must be protected at all costs.
All I gotta say is Rex is fine.
I mean, I would have liked to know a little bit more about his, you know, what his childhood was like, but you know, that's the only thing I had more questions about. But we got a sense that he was brought up really well, caring and loving. But I would have just liked to see, like, you know, after he became an orphan, was he a stinker? Did they have to whip him into shape? Like what?
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for everyone for joining to talk about Rex tonight. This was really good. Let's see. I guess we can go around and kind of do our plugging and going around and everyone just saying what they're up to lately. Let's start with you, Justin.
Man, what have I been up to? So today I was streaming in the From Software Marathon. We finished Echo Knight, and I've got quite a few more games to play throughout the rest of the marathon. I'll be playing Adventures of Cookie and Cream, and not in this particular order either. Lost Kingdoms, Eternal Ring, and Echo Knight Beyond as well, and possibly Armored Core, Project Phantasma. But we will see, and I will be announcing those when I can do that, even though by the time y'all listen to this episode, those streams probably would have already happened.
That said, Little Roulette also usually uploads the VODs on YouTube later on, so you guys would probably be able to catch them on later.
Yes. But other than that, I've been kind of going through my Switch library, just looking at like what haven't beat yet or things I started but dropped, and I picked up Fire Emblem Three Houses again a couple days ago, and I've been trying to finish that, and I found, oh my goodness, I found like this really crazy way to level up in that game, so now I'm steamrolling through it, and it's really funny. So I'll be playing through that game, trying to finish the Golden Deer route. And yeah, I've just been playing a lot of games lately. Really, that's kind of the only thing I've been up to nowadays, since there's been a lot going on in my own personal life. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have energy to do anything productive, so I'm just gonna play games right now.
I mean, it is productive. You're going through your backlog, so I call
true.
this productive.
This is very true.
Good.
Last year I played a lot of games. I beat a ton of games.
Remind us how many you beat up.
Okay,
What,
give me a second.
107?
And it wasn't 107. It wasn't that much, but it was a lot.
103?
I think that was it's 102.
Oh
102.
my god.
102.
See, you
I'm
beat
so
more
glad.
games than me and like years of gameplay.
I don't think I've beaten that many in my life.
I think the scary part is that I beat 102 games last year, and I'm still not done with my backlog.
I think you are addicted to video games and you need to see a therapist.
Probably.
I'm glad we can do that.
Yeah, so far I'm at 8 games.
I also
this
think
year.
maybe you have too many friends who
Wow.
keep gifting you games, so be less popular.
Yeah, I gotta be less likable.
Yeah, be less likable so you get fewer games.
Be less like Rex.
Be less like
Be
Rex.
less like Rex, exactly.
Be less like Rex. Be more like Malos. No one gives Malos games.
I'd give Malos El Shaddai because I just give that to anyone who says the name twice to me.
Well, Robin, what have you been up to lately?
Oh Oh god, frickin' nothing. I've been playing some Final Fantasy X, but I've been going through that really slowly because all my asshole friends keep having like fucking birthdays and shit.
Oh,
And then I have to like
Ah.
make them fucking gifts so they know I care about them, which is just really rude of them
You
to
know
like
you-
have birthdays.
oh well, I'm sorry for being born.
Yeah, can you stop being born?
I mean, have
Go
you
unborn yourself.
have you
Go get born at a time that is more convenient for my schedule, please.
All right, I'll go drink some birthday moving juice.
Thank you, and move birthday. You move your birthday. Anthony move his birthday. Anthony wife move birthday. Like,
Yeah, it's true. There was a lot that were all like stacked next to each other in a short amount of time.
yeah. And then every time I make a cool craft for one friend, I'm like, oh no, I've never made this cool craft for other friend. I better make cool craft for other friend too. And then it becomes their birthday, and I'm like, oh no, I already made them cool craft. Now what will I do? So anyway, the long story is, I don't know, I've just been having friends.
Well, I love your cool craft. It's on my special things shelf, and I look at it and
Yeah.
admire it every day.
Yeah,
Aw, thank you.
I love all the things you gave me so far, included the newest edition, the little Zhongli magnet on the fridge.
I'm glad you like that. I was trying a different style for it.
Yes, I really, really love him.
I am glad. Not that
Uh,
anybody else has ever gotten a magnet from me. Those are pretty rare.
Mary, what have you been up to?
I've been mostly streaming because like conventions are still not really a thing, and I'm not really motivated to do much if there was no convention. So
Mhm.
I've been going a lot into streaming. I'm working my way to get a new computer going because my current computer is too old for certain things. Uh, but yeah, and I also finally reached affiliate just today actually, and
Nice.
it's really cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, and like I'm looking forward to do more streaming because I really enjoy it so far. It's cool to just be able to play games and chill with people who come into the chat and stuff. It's really nice.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. How about you, B?
I'm also working on my backlog. I'm determined to beat Chronicles, maybe this week. We'll see. I did pick up the new Pokemon game as I did learn how to stream it yesterday. Woohoo!
Mhm.
Yeah, that was fun.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that was thanks for watching me play. I'll tackle that one probably next, and then the bajillion others that follow after that. There are a few conventions that I heard of that are gonna be running, so I'm gonna work on cosplay once again. I have 3 started, and I have a 4th that I'd like to work on. Other than that, crafting. I think I could make a Dixon plush from crochet.
Yes,
99%.
absolutely. How many money do I have to give you?
I don't know. I'm still working on how I can pattern it, but I'm 99% sure I can do it.
I will give you money
I
until
know.
you. I will just keep giving you money until it arrives.
I will
They'll be
let
like, you already
know.
paid for this, and I'll be like, did I have more money?
I will let you know when I start. I'd like to make a poppy one too, but
Ooh.
yeah, I have to
Poppy.
find yarn and stuff first, which I probably have somewhere. but
I
yeah.
work at a fucking craft store. You need yarn, motherfucker. I got you.
Yes, just projects, backlog, same old, same old. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How about you, Jessi?
Well, let's see.
You had a birthday.
I had
like
a
jerk.
birthday. That was really fun. Got to see all my cool friends. Or most of them. And I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that's real cool. I'm gonna make a big post about my in-depth thoughts about that on Godsub when I have a little bit of time here. So if you want to hear more about than me just kind of rambling about Rex, then you could check that out in a couple of days. It'll definitely be up by the time this episode comes out. Other than that, left a crappy old job and got a new one. I did talk about like some of my stuff that I do in the interview, so don't be afraid to do that if you're listening to this. I mean, depending on what it is, so just gonna put that advice out there. And yeah, things are pretty okay. Hope they're okay with you too, person listening to this.
Good.
And how about you, Tyler?
Well, I am also I'm at the same company, but I am getting a different job, so I feel that on the same sort of level. But other than that, I haven't been doing just things have been changing rather quickly, and trying to adjust. And as for games, I've been juggling Scarlet Nexus and Blue Reflection Second Light, which
Such a good game.
well, both are just like really good, and I think I'm getting close to beating Scarlet Nexus, so I might throw some focus into that. It's really good. It's really good.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah, it's so fun, and it's been getting real good.
It's part of my backlog too.
I feel that. I bought so many games recently with one of the Nintendo sales, so my Switch is getting almost as much backlog as my Steam my Steam backlog. It's terrible.
I think my worst one is my PS4 backlog.
Yeah,
right
my
now.
Xbox.
That's one of my worst ones too.
My Xbox, now that Outer Wilds is on the Xbox. Oh, got that one too.
All right.
Didn't you finish House of Phantomorga?
Yes. House of Fata Morgana is that visual novel is amazing, and I highly recommend it. There's still some like extra stories I need to do, but the main story is just one of the best visual novels I've read in a long time, and it's got me kind of back into the visual novel like genre. So it's highly recommend it. It's on Switch and PC and probably a whole bunch of other different platforms, but I highly recommend it. Thank you for bringing that up, Robin. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining and all the listeners. As far as future episodes go, the Xenosaga 20th anniversary is coming up at the end of February. We're planning on doing something spectacular for it, even though anything I can think of probably won't be as spectacular as it deserves, because it's like my favorite, and I want to do so much for it, but I can't. Sorry, that was a lot.
I gush about.
Sorry. Yeah, so definitely want to have a 20th anniversary Xenosaga episode. But other than that, I don't know what other episodes we're working on. We have a full list, and I just don't know what we're doing next. But that's it for now. Sorry I dumped 4 episodes on everybody last month in December, and then there hasn't been anything in January. So much content, and then a drought.
So much content.
But anyway, thank you everybody for joining me tonight and joining us. If you're listening, I love you and all you guys. So have a good night.
Good night.
Night,
everyone.
We love you and all you guys.
Take care, everybody.
Save the game?
Enemy's too strong. Please switch to casual mode because you're a little baby.